intelligent.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, you are above professional. Yeah. So at the same time, you are also
Real life
very,
right now, so you want to say
very
hello?
wise, very wise. So,
Mhm.
like,
Okay, explain what's today's topic to the audience. The
yeah,
joy of living. What is it about today, Dr.
yes,
Maharaji?
yes. As we said, normally you see the books and video art of living, the joy of living, but then people put uh, how to live without stress. Now, this goes how is once the mind, which is asking how, is start understanding itself, then automatically there are certain things which are beyond uh, thinking process. So, like it cannot be put into a time structure.
Okay.
The moment you put in a time structure or organize it, you already have messed it up.
So you're saying that we're putting a lot of constraint on ourselves, like we put time constraints, we're overthinking about everything of life, so that's why we're very stressful. Is that what you mean?
Yes, because the being,
We should just go with the flow.
yes,
Mm.
yes. For example, you want to understand it that the grass grows by itself.
Mm-hmm.
The okay, the life goes into awake, sleep, and dream.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the sleep of 8 hours
Mm-hmm.
are actually you are preparing to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
When the real sleep comes,
Mm-hmm.
which is called the sound sleep,
Mm-hmm.
that sound sleep is how long? Maybe 20 minutes or half
Okay.
an hour. Out of 8 hours,
Mm-hmm.
maybe half an hour, where there is no dream. You know how it goes. First
Right.
like this, then dream, and then sound sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But you are witnessing because when you observe, when you wake up next day, you say, "Oh, I had a wonderful sleep." If you did not have a sound sleep, then you say, "Oh, I didn't have a good sleep," and you are tired, and
But
so
how do we get into that phase of the deep sound sleep?
deep sound sleep. Yeah,
Yes,
deep
how?
sound sleep is like nurture, is like recharge of the battery. It give you a peaceful, healthy mind and body.
But is there a tactic to achieve
But
that? Because a lot of people are struggling to achieve the deep
no,
sound sleep. Mm.
because the mind is
Not resting.
always so possessed in
Mhm.
the possession of the ideas.
Right.
How?
Right.
You are of course in the material uh, life.
Mm-hmm.
When we drive, you learn some techniques,
Right.
but there is something which you cannot learn, which is awareness,
Mm-hmm.
because everything is not technical and
Okay.
mechanical. So that's what I was trying to reflect, that what is the mother, the silence. Silence is that non-doing,
Mm.
This all doing comes from thinking,
Mm.
and thinking comes from the being.
Mm.
When you are in your being space, uh, minimum effort, maximum productivity. When you are restful and relaxed, then your clear mind is more productive and is clear. Is clear. So you are, and then the modern culture opposite,
Mm.
like anxiety full and stressful.
Mm.
They think big doers, but actual result very little.
Right.
And then there is opposite people, like if you want to understand the material nature, the richest people who make the money, their hard work, and look at the banks which
Mm.
don't work.
Right.
So that is the proof that it is not in doing, it is in clear perception.
Mm.
So they have a vision. Vision means they clear understanding about the money,
Mm.
that by working hard you become poor,
Mm.
but the wise one is
Working smart.
that's the right word. You said
Yes. Yes.
smart instead of hard.
Right.
And the same goes, instead of reducing from human being to human doing, you learn the how to do
Mm.
artfully,
Mm.
art that like a gardener try to manage is not the right word. Garden that
Mhm.
weeds are okay, but not the weeds take over all the garden.
Mhm.
And when you grow more mature the garden, you don't throw out all the old leaves.
Mm.
Your old leaves are also beautiful because they become manure. You recycle.
Yep. Then become dirt some days.
Yes,
So it goes back to the earth.
yes,
Yes.
and that is why the beautiful fruit tree, if you observe, the whole tree condensed into a tiny seed,
Mm.
and the tiny seed manifest again in the tree and multiply.
Mhm.
So we are to observe and observe around this mother nature, which teaching everything. The truth cannot be taught.
Mm.
It can be caught. Caught with what? Not by too much of knowledge, but by awareness. Because third, there is one knowledge which can be learned by the books, videos, and time.
Mhm.
But there is another kind of knowledge which cannot be learned by those.
Yeah.
For example, language,
Mhm.
yes. How would you learn the language of silence? Just shut up,
Mm.
and then the mind is chattering. But there is another real silence where you are in the sound sleep.
Mm.
Just the window and alertful awareness. Oh, there is no, when you are in the sound sleep, you are not running after the ego.
Mhm.
You're not driven by that. You don't want anything, because the thought process has, like, the memory you are being run, because the prime memory you had when you are in the mother's womb, 9 months, you were not running around 8 hour, 9 hour, trying, and then no anxiety. Why? Because the mother eat for you, drink for you, and you are in blissful state. So when you are born, you want to, your old memory want to repeat the same kind of feeling as you are in the cozy mother's womb, the same way people create and recreate luxury hot tubs, hot mansions, just to be cozy and curled up and no thinking, no worry.
Mm.
Is the repetition.
Right.
But that the most of the rich people, what do? They are taking luxury drink or luxury, just is the effort to go in the mother's womb.
Mm.
But it comes with a lot of stress and effort, and they still are in the luxury bed, velvet bed, but inside they can't sleep.
Yeah, silence actually comes from within. It's not created artificially.
Yeah, you have actually, like the hunger. You cannot go and buy hunger. You cannot buy a sound sleep of
Mhm.
wow. You know, when Alexander the Great he died, he was young. He was not too old.
Mhm.
And he said he is ready to give half the kingdom if anybody can give him 10 days or 10 hours. Nobody
Mm.
could. So, but in the life, in living now, you can be immortal
Mm.
and you can be free from fear. And that's all those things are given in the Tao Te Ching.
Mm.
Tao Te Ching Lao Tzu, you can understand Wu Wei. Wu Wei mean effortless effort.
Mm.
Effortless effort mean non-doing doing.
Mm.
That's the other word of being. And that's why human being. But who are we? If we watch and observe, we are nothing but computer.
Mm.
Exactly like computer, like cell phone. The human being has reduced itself to the computer because we identify to the good, bad, right, wrong, good, bad, right, wrong. The, we are so busy in the movies without forgetting the screen. The screen is the real.
Mm.
What playing around on the with the projection,
Okay.
that is just coming and passing. That is this life dream of 70, 80, 90 years is just a dream passing by. Then what's the real ID? Who am I behind the name and form? And
Mm.
if you can uh, be with the truth, of the truth, for the truth, then you have enough intelligence to for bread and butter and other thing will come to you
Right.
more than you need.
Mm.
And then instead of taking, you start giving. The more you give, the more it start coming and it coming.
Right.
So it's a different way of living.
Mhm.
And China is the perfect example of that. The three great uh, seer, you would call them, not the preacher, because they're not promoting video, audio, and how.
Mhm.
No, they live their life,
Mhm.
and then spontaneously it become all attractive. Why? Because be one is understanding about the existence, one is living it. Once because this thing you cannot talk about is reverse. The more and more your mind ego possessing you, it loses its hold and attraction on you. And in simple things, Even the blade of grass
Mhm.
become divine. You connect with the whole existence. You
Mhm.
don't live as a individual body mind, and you're running like a, no, I will not say rat, because most of the people are in the rat race.
Mhm.
Who they become if they're successful? They are chief rat.
Mhm.
They are Mr. Chief Rat,
Right.
because inside the same mind,
Mhm.
so you live not what is visible, but the very consciousness.
Mhm.
You may not be awarded with the awards and be fooled by awards.
Mhm.
Award and punishment go together.
Mhm.
So therefore, you have a qualitative life without certificate, without newspaper, and that you like even watch, observe the garden, butterfly or the cat and dog. Do they need photo and videos? These are good for the material drama,
Mhm.
you can call it egotistic drama,
Mm.
but don't get caught into it.
Mhm.
Don't work for money. Put the money to work for you,
Mhm.
because life is to live now. It is so profound that if you will miss the boat, busy, just try to pay rent and car, and those life are wasted, waste
Mhm.
of life. Then what is the life? First find out what is life. Because if you give a answer, then you make a idea. This is the burning question. Who am I?
Mhm.
What is